Alright. Now, after years and years, save up, buy a season, save up, buy a season, save up some more. Amazon does a sale, spend more money than I have. I finally got volume 10 or season 10 of Naruto, the uncut box set. Season 10, it's basically the finale of the main story. I watched all the seasons all the way through. I really got like the last couple of seasons, and I kind of watched them all in the last month, really. Like season, you know, I guess 7, 8, 9, and 10. I pretty much watched them all in the last 2 months. And so today I finally finished season 10. Watched all the episodes all over again, and got to the best stuff, which was Naruto versus Sasuke. Now the fight they had on top of the hospital was pretty cool, but obviously that's like crap compared to the end finale when they're actually fighting at the I want to say the Valley of the End. For some reason I can't remember the name. But the animation for that episode is like way up there because it's the big finale of the main story, and then after that it's just all the crappy filler episodes for like I want to say like 4 or 5 more seasons. But you know, all that doesn't even matter because you get the great fight. Season 9 was fun. It was the start of the Sasuke retrieval arc, and Shikamaru, Kiba, Choji, Naruto, and Neji, they all go and have their fights, and each character has a cool fight, and those are always fun to watch. Like they were fun when I first saw them, and they were like I was actually excited watching them again because it had been so long, and I really just enjoyed the fights because they were really cool, and they had a lot of emotional impact and stuff. For all the characters, especially because it kind of seemed like they were gonna die. But even for the characters that didn't look like they were gonna die, it was still a really great scene because it was them showing off like their new skills and all that stuff, and it was really cool to see. And when I was watching, I think it was in season 8 actually. They were actually showing all the characters. Like they showed Neji when he like looked at the birds and stuff, and I was like, oh, that foreshadows him having the blind spot and not having actual 360 degrees of vision. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. They foreshadowed that when they showed it, and when Kiba was training in the woods with Akamaru, that's what they were training, you know, to do was the ultimate taijutsu attack. Or, well, I guess yeah, that technically counts as taijutsu. But like their ultimate like wolf form, that's what they were foreshadowing with that training and stuff. And I thought oh, that's pretty cool. I obviously didn't know that because I hadn't seen the episodes. But even after years and years, when I first saw that, and he mentioned like, "Oh, I missed one of the sparrows." When Neji said that, I was like, "Oh, they foreshadow all these cool moves that they pretty much explain, and then they re-show the sparrows when Neji's battle ends." But all those fights in season 9, they were great. The story for each character was pretty cool, and then season 10, Gara and Lee versus Kimimaro. That's always been one of my favorite fights. Kimimaro's always been one of my favorite characters, and I always felt like he was kind of like Zabuza. Like I love the character, but he's pretty much just the villain for that. Those couple of episodes. Then he gets killed off, and like I always hated that, especially since he had a Kekkei Genkai, and now it's like it's gone off the planet. But I always thought, if anyone deserved to come back during the war for the reanimation from the reanimation jutsu, it's Kimimaro. But what I've read so far in the manga, it hasn't happened, and I'm pretty much caught up. I'm only like one chapter behind, and I'm sure they do have it in the episodes because they've done a ton of war fillers where they've brought back a lot of the characters. Like they brought back the Sound Four. I haven't watched any of those episodes yet. I just know they've done it, and so I'm sure Kimimaro is in that. If you know they brought back the Sound Four, they probably brought him back to make the Sound Five, and I'm sure it's a pretty cool episode just to see him come back and try to relate it to when they first fought and how everyone grew up and stuff like that, and have like Lee and Gara. Well, they obviously they wouldn't really be together unless they somehow made that happen in the fillers, which would be kind of weird. But maybe just Lee by himself fighting Kimimaro, I don't know. But I always thought he was like Zabuza, where he was a great character, but he didn't have much time. And they brought back Zabuza and Haku, and I thought that was really great how they did that. and I just thought they could have done the same for Kimimaro. But after that fight, Gar and Lee finished their stuff, and Kimimaro almost gets them both. They finish, and they the creators, animators, they lead you into Naruto versus Sasuke, and it starts off pretty basic, shonen stuff. You get a couple of action scenes, and then it's like, honestly, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes of Itachi and Sasuke in the past, and of course, it was it was required. It was good, necessary information, as if it was the first time you saw it. They show everything. Sasuke training to do the fireball jutsu so he could impress his dad because he felt like he was in Itachi's shadow his whole life. All that stuff, and it was good episodes, and I knew, like, I was like, I really just want to see the fight, but I knew, this is necessary for information. It's good to have it. I kind of need it, actually. It shows everything that Sasuke felt, and it was really good to see it again, even though it wasn't the whole action-packed stuff. It was nice to watch, and plus Itachi's just cool to watch, like, no matter what, even when he's just normal. Sorry, that's on my laptop. Like, even when he's just like not beating a bunch of people up, Itachi's just cool to like watch because he's just that cool character. But they went through all that, all the I keep thinking fillers. I want to say filler, but not filler. Just the past, flashbacks, and then they finally got to the fight, and I watched. I think I watched the last 3 episodes today. So I watched like the first, like it comes in 3 discs. I finished the first 2 discs, and I watched the first 2 episodes yesterday, and that was pretty much the start of the fight. It was like the first episode was like the end of the flashbacks. The second episode is like right when they get into fighting, and Sasuke, like drops down the waterfall, and they clash with the Chidori Rasengan, which is always really cool to see. I always like that. And after that, it's just pure action, and Sasuke even says the line like, no more talking, and then it's just pure punching and kicking after that. And it's great to see all those moves again, because it was just stuff I never forgot after I first saw it, because the animation, like I said, the animation was amazing in those couple episodes, and all the moves they did were really cool. Like the part where after Naruto pretty much goes into his cloak form, or like right before that, when he's like shooting all the clones at Sasuke from underwater. I always loved that part. And then he grabs Sasuke, and he does like the giant like windmill sort of thing with all the clones, and he slams them into the wall. I always loved that because it just looked amazing to me. And after that, once Naruto does go basically into his cloak, like when he's doing the chakra, and like Sasuke is pretty much worried, like, I can't read Naruto and the chakra. The chakra pretty much has a mind of its own, and I can't see that. And he was getting messed up, and like in the very beginning, he was getting beat up too. Like the first 10 minutes of like the second episode on the third CD, he got beat up like the first 10 minutes, and then he got the third piece of the Sharingan, which I finally, like, I got it today. I was like, oh, he got that because he made the decision to break the bond. And if he actually broke it, that's how he would have got Mangekyo, of course. But that never clicked when I was younger, or like when I first watched it, which I guess I could say when I was younger, because that actually was like over 4 years ago. But like that didn't click when I first watched it, that, oh, he got the third piece because he decided to break the bond. And of course, he didn't get the Mangekyo because he didn't actually kill Naruto in the end. But the whole thing was fun to watch again. All the action, all the stuff that like that didn't really make sense to me still didn't. Like the random part when Sasuke throws like a piece of wood at Naruto, and then it like sets on fire. I figured that was because Naruto was running so fast, but at the same time that didn't make any sense because he was running on water, and water was shooting up, and I don't, like, unless he somehow ran so fast, the water heated up that much, and it turned the piece of wood into, it like set the wood on fire. That part still doesn't make sense, because like Sasuke didn't do any move to set the piece of wood on fire. It still doesn't. If you can explain it to me, to make me understand thank you, but I just never got that part. It seemed like he just threw it and then it just set on fire because it was going that fast. And it didn't seem like it was actually going that fast to me, but I guess that's what it was supposed to be. But they have the whole fight. I loved it, and like my favorite part actually is like the one scene when Naruto starts to use the hand to try to capture, or the chakra hand to try to capture Sasuke. And, like he does like the giant hand, and they have like great animation. It's kind of like really low to the ground, and you see a bunch of little rocks and stuff, and Sasuke's like in the corner, and the hand's just huge and it's like looming like right towards the camera. And I love that part, and it kind of it misses Sasuke, and he's talking about how all he can do is dodge, and then the arm like comes up out of the ground and grabs him, and then it like pulls up, and I just always thought that was a really cool move for Naruto to do. And the little part when he like running around Sasuke and he's shooting the chakra hands in, I thought that was pretty sweet too. And then of course the end climax, they both hit. Naruto's in his cloak with his arm broken, and then Sasuke does curse mark level 2, and he does like the black Chidori, which I always thought was really cool. And I thought, it kind of sucks that they'll never be able to do that again because, Sasuke doesn't have the curse mark anymore, and there would be no reason for Naruto to just do the regular Rasengan. Also, it wouldn't be the same because he doesn't have to do the he doesn't have to like lose control to get the cloak anymore. He just has like his like Path of the Six Sages mode, or however you say. I'm like mixing it up. Sage of the Six Paths mode, like that pretty much. And even though that's not what it's called, that's pretty much what it is. You see like he has like the six around his neck. But like he has that, he doesn't need it, and plus it wouldn't be regular because he has Rasen Shuriken now, so he'd like never do the regular unless they put that into the story where like they're fighting it out, and he has to go back to his regular one. But still, you know Itachi took the curse mark from Sasuke to basically pull Orochimaru's essence out of him, so they can't do that again. I thought it would be really cool if they could. And also like the whole black orb thing, which I always thought looked really weird, and it had like the cool design going through it, and it was like expanding. It was pretty much like a wormhole, like destroying everything that it came in contact with. I thought that was pretty cool too. And it ends, and like Sasuke hits Naruto, and Naruto like scratches the headband, and I thought it's like that makes him just like his brother now. Sasuke and Itachi, they're both just gone from the village. And Sasuke leaves off, Kakashi gets Naruto, and it pretty much ends. Naruto being him, like Jiraiya says he's not gonna let him go. Try to find Sasuke, and Naruto's like, I don't care. Like if looking for Sasuke makes me an idiot or something like that, I'd rather be an idiot my entire life, and I'd rather be a fool my entire life and like bring my friend back to the village than master any sort of cool jutsu. And so he's being the inspirational him and stuff, and everyone gets healed, and then the episode ends. Unfortunately, I wanted it to be like it just stops there, and I kind of thought I shouldn't even watch the preview because it's just gonna be the preview for like the filler episode, but I did anyway. But after that episode, like I have season 1 of Shippuden, so I'm gonna watch that. Like I kind of wish that it would kind of be unfair, but if they did it where they took the ending, like the very last episode of Naruto, and like put that in for season 10 just for people who were gonna skip over the filler ones, I think that would have been really sweet if they did. But obviously they didn't. They just went on like they did with all the other seasons. Last episode on the disc, you get the preview for the next season's episode. But for now it's just Naruto. Like none of the fillers after the main story. I have the like Kakashi and his mask filler, which is pretty funny, and then the Idate filler, which is, if you remember who Ibiki is, the proctor from the Chunin exams, his little brother. But it's still like a random little filler that's not really that entertaining, but it's not horrible either. You do get like a tornado made out of Rasengan, so that was pretty sweet. But overall, like I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed every season, but 9 and 10 were like the big ones, and they were my favorite parts. outside of like Zabuza coming in and the tuning exams, which I really love. This was really what it all built up to: Sasuke versus Naruto, and it was worth the wait to see. Even though of course I could have just found it online, it was worth it to buy the season and sit down and actually watch it on my TV. And it was really fun, and I can't wait to get to Shippuden and start saving up and buying those too. So comment, let me know what you think, or what you thought of Naruto. The for all the fights. What was your favorite fight, or at least one of your favorites? Because you probably can't just. I won't like force you to pick a favorite fight from Naruto because they have some pretty sweet stuff. Like Gara versus Rock Lee, that's still one of my favorite fights. Like no matter what, that's one of my favorite fights to watch. And then Gara and Rock Lee versus Kimimaro, that's one of my favorite fights because it's some really cool stuff. Especially when Gara comes in, I like that part more than when Lee does it. And I guess that's mostly because he can't do much because he's injured, so it doesn't last too long. But that's great. And Sasuke versus Naruto, really fun. And even let me know from Shippuden what are some of your favorite fights, because I know from the very beginning, Sakura versus Sasori is still one of my favorite fights. I just like love that whole dynamic of that fight. I thought was really amazing for what they did. And also, in that fight, I believe it's a callback to Tsunade versus Orochimaru when she like pulls him with his tongue and she punches him in the face. Because Sakura kind of does the same thing to Sasori. And when I was watching that season, the original for Naruto, when Tsunade did that to Orochimaru, it instantly reminded me of Sakura versus Sasori. And since I actually have that, at least I believe that's still in season one. I really hope it is, because like I said, it's one of my favorite fights. But if that's in season one, I'll be able to watch it again and really see, how close it is. Or I could just do it on YouTube, but I'll probably just wait and try to find the episode. But excuse me. Comment, let me know favorite fights, least favorite fights, favorite characters, least favorite characters, all that stuff. Anything Naruto, just put it in the comments. Comment, rate, subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching.